Hi there, it's Ms. Thompson here, and I'm here to talk about vibrato. Okay, I'm going to do my best. I feel like it's a little bit difficult for you to see, but I'm going to do my best on this, okay? So let's talk about vibrato. Your hand needs to be relaxed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of shake it out. I'm holding it like a guitar. I'm going to take my thumb and put it where it normally goes. And now I've got my hand hanging down. See this? And I'm just going to let it go back and forth, okay? See how much space is between my hand and the neck of the violin? A lot of space, okay? So I'm just all right. I'm gonna slide up so my thumb is still on the same part of the neck, but just up higher. And I'm gonna just still keep on doing that, okay? And now I'm gonna take my instrument, put it in place, and still do the same thing. And now I'm waving at myself, okay? All right. Now I'm going to take my second finger, my tall finger, and I'm going to slowly get it onto the string. And I'm going to slide back and forth. And then I'm going to slide more and more and narrow until I land on my fourth finger tape, okay? Now here is the critical thing. I need a space. Can you see that? It's really hard to see. I need a space between this part of my finger. I'm going to put a dot on it so you know exactly where, okay? Okay. This part, can you see the dot right here? Okay. So that needs to be not touching. I just wrote on my hand. That was great. That needs to be not touching my instrument. So here it's touching, here it's not touching. Touching, not touching. I can put a pencil right through there, okay? See how I'm not touching my instrument, okay? Now when I put my second finger down on my fourth finger tape, make sure your thumb is right up there, okay? I'm gonna start rocking back and forth from my tape back towards the scroll, up to the tape, to the scroll, back and forth. If this part of my hand, that dot that I put on there, is touching my violin, it will not work. It's just gonna it gets stuck. As soon as I let go right there, I can start rocking back and forth. Look at my wrist. I am leaning against my instrument. I've been saying forever not to do that, but that is because we're in first position. In third position, I do want to right now because I don't want my wrist doing anything. As soon as I take it away from here, the tendency is to do this, and that's all wrong. So just lean it against there. It's okay. Go from the note, back, up, down, back, and forth. And I'm just going right towards the scroll. I'm going to try to give you a different angle. Okay. Pizza, 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 pizza. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Once that feels comfortable, do my third finger. I want to work on my second and third finger first because they are the strongest. This is the strongest part of my hand. My first finger is pretty strong, but it's so squished, it's such a strange angle that I don't want you to start with that. The pinky is just so weak. So we're going to start with second finger and then third. Okay? Once that feels pretty good, go ahead and add your pinky. And your pinky can just piggyback right on it. So here's third finger and fourth. So my fourth finger is down, but my third finger was doing the work, and now my fourth finger is right with it, okay? And now I'm going to go back and see how the first finger goes, okay? All right. So once that feels comfortable, and notice I haven't used my bow at all. That is the real trick to doing vibrato, is don't use your bow. Because look, you're trying to get your fingers to go back and forth this way. That's like north and south. Your bow goes east and west. It's totally the different direction. So your brain is trying to figure this out in the beginning, and then you add that, and it's like, and it just can't do it. So go ahead and just leave the bow out of it for a while, okay? Once you feel pretty comfortable doing that, then practice on all 4 strings with all 4 notes, and try to go right from one to the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, pizza, 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 pizza. Second finger, 2, 3, 4, pizza. 7, 8. Third finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pinky, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and shake it out. Okay? Then you go ahead and you do the next string. Okay? I'm not going to take the time to do that on the video, but you can pause it and go ahead and do through all strings. Okay? And just shake it out after each one because it gets a little bit tiring. Okay? Once you do that, you're going to double it. Okay? So it was pretty comfortable. Okay? 1, 2, pizza, 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 mozzarella, mozzarella. 1, 2, 2, da, 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 da. Okay? Double check. Can you still put a pencil through there? Yeah, no problem. Okay? The second that you're against it, I can't get the pencil through there. My hand is in the way. As soon as you do that, it's going to sound terrible. Okay? All right, so I do that. All right, I go through all 4 strings, all 4 fingers, all 4 strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Second finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third finger, 2, like that, okay? By now, my vibrato is getting pretty comfortable. So, because when I say comfortable, I mean that I am in control of it. I can say how fast I want to go. If I want to go pizza, pizza, or mozzarella, mozzarella, okay? Either one, I decide, as opposed to this. See how like you don't have control? Your finger is just like deciding what to do. So that's what you don't want. You want to be able to decide, okay? Once that feels pretty good, well, I'm ready to start moving it back into first position. So, like, I'm just going to take my hand and put it against my instrument, okay? Then I'm going to move my second finger. I was on the 4th finger tape, right? Can you see that? So now I'm going to move my second finger down to the 3rd tape. I moved my thumb with it. Just like a little motion, okay? And now I have my hand here, and I'm going to do the same thing and make sure that the hand motion is the same. And it looks pretty good. And I'm going to slide down to where it belongs. This is first position. And I'm going to let go of this and see if it's doing the same. If all of a sudden I'm like, then I need to put it back. Okay? All right? So that's how I move back into first position. Okay? I'm on the mozzarella speed. Okay? Maybe by then I'm ready to use my bow. Okay? So this is what it sounds like. This is pizza, the first step. Now I'm going to switch to double the speed. And now I'm ready to double that. And it's done. That sounded nice. Look at that, I took my hand off of my instrument. I'm not real comfortable having it jammed up against there in 3rd position. But my vibrato is in control now. I've trained my wrist to just stay where it's supposed to go. Okay, this is called wrist vibrato. Okay, this is how I learned and how I teach it. But let me tell you, there's another type of vibrato, and it's called arm vibrato, and a lot of students use that. I can't do it really well. Okay, but I can show you. Okay. If I have a student who's having a lot of trouble getting this motion, okay, like they're just having trouble, okay, like you can't get it. You've tried it. I mean, okay, you have to give it a try. So try it for a week or so. And if you're just like, oh my gosh, Miss Thompson is not working, then go ahead and try arm vibrato, which is the whole thing. Do you see how it's going from my elbow? Okay. This is arm vibrato. And it's the same thing. You need to go slow. Let me give you some different points of view from it. Okay. So it's like, it just looks just like this. Okay. And then you can speed it up. Okay. This is hard for me to do because I don't normally do it. So this is the other way, which is completely fine. It's totally fine to do either one. Okay. So you just decide which one is more comfortable. Usually what I'm doing is I'm teaching students wrist vibrato, and then if they just have trouble, then they switch to arm. Okay. Three things of advice. The first one is be so patient. It takes a while. It just takes some time to get vibrato. Okay, so patience is number one. Number two is don't use that bow until your vibrato is in control, until you can tell it what to do. Okay, so some people, I'll tell them like, don't use your bow for 2 weeks, and they're like, okay, and then 5 minutes later they're like, "Rrr, rrr." Like, just wait. Okay, and then the last thing is that you should be relaxed when you do it. So if your hand is tight, that's not vibrato. Okay, you just need to have it totally relaxed. Shake it out and go back to it. Okay, a couple other things you can try are getting a pack of Tic Tacs and then holding it in your hand, and then and it should sound even. Okay, so that's another idea. Okay, good luck with your vibrato.